generation that preceded the online poker generation, it took years and years to get that many hands under your belt. Now you can multi-table. There's a multitude of different sites that you can play. Tournaments, which generally take so much longer. You can enter, a half a dozen big field multi-table tournaments throughout the course of a single day, if not more. And that, of course, has allowed for some of these younger players to look so composed and so experienced when they're out there. Tyszkiewicz, 8-9 suited, and his experience has been a good one. He flopped a diamond flush draw with this exact hand earlier, if I'm not mistaken, or was that Lynn? Can't remember, but it was an 8-9 of diamonds on an all-diamond flop in that first frame of play.
Yeah, I think it was Tyszkiewicz that flopped it.
I want to say it was as well. Suited one gapper now for Kuzmanis. Does come along out of the small blind, so showing his creative side here. Doesn't rate to interfere.
Yeah, these guys playing 100 deep against one another. Saliev a little bit shorter here, playing more like 60 bigs out of the big. Still plenty deep.
King 8 comes along, the Jack 9-5 board, delivering bottom pair to Kuzmanis behind the 9s for Tyszkiewicz, who has 2 checks in front of him. 19,000 in the middle.
Yeah, I think he wants to bet this one. I think you're sort of protecting your hand. You've got a little bit of backdoor stuff going on with the 9. Definitely don't want to have to check call a turn bet, so better to bet yourself here. Like this from Tyszkiewicz, like the sizing as well. Very nicely played. Kuzmanis, obviously, when you get involved with a hand like 5-3 of hearts, flopping bottom pair and maybe some kind of backdoor, sort of as good as you can realistically hope for.
The deuce, not quite as good. As he checks once more, heads up now with the departure.
Yeah, and Tyszkiewicz has a couple of options here. Can go for a very small advanced blocker here on the turn, or he can check it. I don't think there's another recommended route. The benefit of the advanced blocker is you get some value from some draws and maybe face a bet smaller. Make a bet, I should say, smaller than the one you would face on river. That's what he's gone for. And now not enough hand anymore. No backdoor coming through to be an actual draw. And it would be very sticky. Of course, some king queens, some queen tens may fire out this bet and you are ahead, but it's going to be hard to realize.
Oh, hang on a second. Maybe he has the sense that Tyszkiewicz is out here with some ace X or maybe king X with the straight draw combos potentially, as just in case he were up against Jack X, Tyszkiewicz rewarded with an 8 on the river, courtesy of that turn bet.
One of the hidden benefits of making that advanced blocker, as I said, planning to check back pretty much all rivers, is that if you do improve on a 9 or an 8, as he has done here, you can now, with a bloated pot, pursue some more value, be a little bit extra greedy, target some Jack X. Think about a hand like Jack 10, for example, maybe Queen Jack, maybe King Jack that might have called out of the small blind, and be a little greedy against those. I love how Tyszkiewicz has navigated this hand. He's obviously up against rock bottom of range, but very much with a handle on where he is at every point. And now on the river, targeting a stronger hand than 5-3, of course. Beautifully played.
Sensing perhaps that the Queen 10 would have been more inclined to lead out on the end. And in the event it were up against real strength, perhaps be pleased with a raise behind it, of course, sitting on the nuts. But in particular, the turn there is what impressed me with Tyszkiewicz. You know, that second barrel is the one that earns him the opportunity to check back on most rivers unimproved. Then when he does improve, he can fire another barrel, as we observed. And he got another bet out of 5s.